Juneteenth in Los Angeles was commemorated with a giant street party to mark the end of slavery in the U.S.
We can't talk about Juneteenth if we're not talking about what?
It's also an opportunity for residents to discuss reparations over the legacy of slavery.
We are the ones who make sure these legislators pass this reparations language. We are the ones who make sure that they put in the work to make sure our community is made whole from being broken.
California is the first state to look at reparations to Black Californians who descend from enslaved people. A state task force recently issued an interim report making the case that the state should compensate residents who can trace their lineage to an enslaved person.
I see the cause for reparatory justice for African Americans being one of those progressive causes that California proudly is championing and pioneering.
The task force has re-energized talk of reparations, long a dream for many Black Americans. What might it be? Housing and education credits? Cash?
And it doesn't have to be so much that's going to destroy the country, but definitely we need to have some credit repair.
When California entered the U.S. as a state in 1850, slavery was made illegal here. Reparations is about fulfilling the promises made after the Civil War to help freed people, says Moore, the task force chair.
Reparations really addresses, at the heart, yes, slavery, but also the broken promise of Reconstruction in this country.
Calls for reparations have gained momentum in recent years, receiving a boost after the 2020 police brutality protests. 62% of Americans say that the U.S. government has a responsibility to reduce slavery's effects, according to a 2021 Gallup survey. Some critics question the scope of the California task force and whether too much time has passed to correct the historical wrong of slavery.
To what extent do you treat wrongs that were committed 200 years ago as social wrongs for which there has to be recompense today to a group of individuals who suffered no such thing?
At a community event, residents spoke about the impact of racism.
I am a California native, a descendant of African slaves on both sides of my family, one of which was lynched publicly in the Jim Crow South.
A debt is owed, otherwise we will continue to be disadvantaged and left out of what our ancestors have built.
There are worries that talk of reparations will be just that, talk. But the state process has given some a sense that there's progress on the issue.
It's a step forward. Of course, I want things to move as swiftly as possible.
The task force has until next summer to finalize its recommendations. Michelle Quinn, VOA News, Los Angeles.